Hey everyone, it's Rabbi Shmuel Pollen. Welcome back. I was at the gym yesterday and there were a couple of kids there, and one of them said to the other, "Do you?" And I've heard this before, "Do you?" And I was thinking, is this a good phrase? So, the essence of being a free thinker is being able to argue both sides. So let's take one side of it and say maybe what they mean by do you is be yourself, which is an unlimited soul, and you have the power to make everyone greater around you. So do that, and I wish you well in making the world a better place. So that's one thought. The other thought that it might mean is do you means do whatever the hell you want and don't give a damn about what other people think. Now that's more complicated. First of all, doing what you want sounds good, but it's actually not a good thing. Doing what you want is usually the opposite of what God wants, and therefore it's going to be something more satanic, something more addictive, something that will drag you down and draw you down in the long run, like cheating, gossiping, being immodest and slutty, or sleeping around. These are all things that are doing what you want to do, but they're not necessarily good for you and should not be done. Um, if you want to be like Jesus and you want to do what God wants over what other people want from you, so the Romans don't want you to spread religion and you want to spread religion, and you're doing what God wants over what people want. You want to be like Jesus and you want to be crucified, go right ahead. You can do that, and you'll probably make a whole new religion, and you'll probably want to become one of the most famous people in history. So that's wonderful. Putting God's will before man's will is wonderful. But most of the time, it's not a conflict of man's will and God's will. Most of the time, the things actually work together. And if they work together, just like watching a video could be what God wants and what man wants. And if something negative comes back from that, people think negatively of what you're doing, you have to take that as feedback. You have to look into what you're doing to see why you're causing this problem with other people. What are you doing wrong? Because you must be doing something wrong. There's something now. We know that many criticisms of many people on YouTube and Instagram and other places come from a place of hate or ignorance or just meanness, and they should not be given much credence. But there are also comments that are constructive, and just saying something negative might tip you off to something you're doing wrong, and you can make yourself that much better through listening to what other people want, not just doing whatever the hell you want and not giving a damn what other people think, but actually listening to what other people are saying. It is a big concept in Judaism that what other people think of you is what God thinks of you. Now, that's a bold statement to say that what God thinks of you is going to be based on what other people think of you. But if you think about it, it's really true, because if you're living your life in a pristine, holy way, everyone naturally is going to be drawn towards you and going to love you and think very well of you. So obviously, God will think very well of you as well. If you're attracting a lot of hate, attracting a lot of haters, there's something you're doing wrong. Some of the criticism might be unjustified, and we should ignore it. But some of the criticism should be listened to, and we should make adjustments and improvements. There's a concept in Judaism called maras ayin, which means we care what people think is happening, even if that's not what's actually happening. So, for instance, non-Jews, it's a good thing for them to wear a yarmulke to increase their awareness of the presence of God, but they should not wear it into a non-kosher restaurant, because people will think that they're Jewish and they'll think that Jews can eat at that restaurant. So that's not a good thing. You have to be very conscious of what other people think about you. Um, Always willing to do God's will in front of their will, but when it overlaps and they both want the same thing, you have to be the one to make adjustments so you can get better feedback. If you are the true you, the one we talked about the first time, the you that is an unlimited godly soul, that is directly from the Creator, and if you're in touch with it, it gives you endless positive energy. It brings about a purity and a holiness and a warmth. That's the kind of you should be. Make your life a life revolved around changing the world for good, and you will be extremely popular and extremely successful. Make products in your business that actually do good for the end user, and you will become very wealthy as well. So, all good things come through God. All good things come through doing the right thing, through doing good things. Not what you want, but what God wants. And when they overlap, um, basically be holy, change the world for good, and be the true you. I think that's what the new statement should be, the new phrase should be. Be the true you, and I'll see you next time.